Welcome back to Sub-Zero Hero, where we're halfway through the season. Our little protege continues to train well and he's getting regular game time. But how is the team doing? Are we close to losing our job, or are we on our way to regaining our place in Norway second tier? We're going to show you all this episode as well. Let's play a very important league fixture. So there is that table. You'll see that we're top of it, although it's not quite as good as it looks. We are in the middle of our second mini little blip of the season. Today, we've got a very important game against Raufoss, who came down with us from the division above last season, and they are mired in a second relegation battle, whilst we're 3 points clear at the top of the table. But it's probably not looking quite as good as that position really shows. Since our last episode, where we got knocked out of the cup to Rosenborg, but played incredibly well for a 2-1 defeat. Well, it then led to a poor little run of form. We lost to Follow 1-0, and then we lost 5-2 to Levanger. That was a little bit of a smashing that made us rethink our tactics a little bit, especially when in the next game we won 4-3, but it was a game that we had to chase. It was a bit of a slobber knocker, this one. So we tried to tighten things up a little bit because we had a run of games against some tougher teams near the top of the table. Sjödal's Blinker, another team that got relegated with us last season, and they're second in the league currently. But we managed to beat them 1-0, playing a little bit more patiently and a little bit more conservatively. Back-to-back 1-0 wins with a victory against Grorud, and then we beat Start, second team, 3-2. We beat Lawrence-Korg 4-3. We beat Ullen 2-0 before another mini little blip in form with a 2-1 narrow defeat to Skeid, who are a good team in third place in the table, and a 1-1 draw with Hood. Then we play some friendlies. We've played okay in the friendlies. We've tweaked the tactic a little bit for these friendlies, which brings us up to the Raufoss game. If we just run through those games again, by the way, just look in the fixtures how many of our goals are being scored by our youngsters. Emper on the score sheet there. As we move through the games, you'll see Gersa got the winner against Grorud. We had Gersa, Sunder and Jensen getting all three of the goals in that game. Jensen managed to get himself a hat-trick in the next game. And so our youngsters have been playing particularly well. None more so, as much as it pains me to admit, than Andre Gersa, who has now made 13 appearances so far this season, and is on an average rating of 7.5, 5 assists, 3 goals. Granted, he continues to be, well, a bit of an agitator around the camp, although apparently now, as we're top of the table, he's happy to carry on playing for us. But he's a bit of a miserable old soul, but he's playing awfully well at the moment, so we will forgive him. This is our tactic currently. We've dropped back to a 4-4-2. We've dropped back to a positive mentality. We've tweaked a couple of the roles as well, especially in the midfield, whilst we've had this little 3-week break from competition. And now we're going to get out there and play Raufoss, a good team. Don't let their relegation form throw you. They're unbeaten in their last 3 or 4 games. So today we're going to go out and see if we can get back to winning ways and maybe even extend our lead at the top of the table. Okay, we're underway. We're the home team in our usual blue shirts and red shorts and socks. And after a 3-week break, we need to get back to winning ways. I mean, a 2-game blip, it's not a disaster. But in such a short season, remember, it's only a 26-gamer. You can't go too long without getting that win back. And Andreas Loveland, well, he's rolled back the years there, hasn't he? He's just volleyed one home from, I don't know, 22, 25 yards. Goalkeeper punches it and he has just hitch-kicked one into the top corner, and we will take that for a start to the game. Take your goals where you can get them. We were struggling in those last 2 games to work as many openings as we had done earlier in the season. But in the first 8 minutes of this, well, we've gone close with a couple of chances. A little bit better, you'll see. Even though we're 1-0 up, the distance of that Loveland goal means the XG is not looking great. And suddenly we've got a bit of defending to do. What can we do with it? Can we win the ball back and break on them? We can. Sunder has agriculturally hacked it clear. And now we've got to win the ball back yet again. We've got lots of our youngsters playing in this game. We're giving Tefram a bit of game time here. We've got Jensen in the midfield. We've got Sunder back there. We've got Nessa back. Our poor form over the last couple of games, by the way, did coincide with Nessa going off with the Norwegian under-19s to the under-19s European Championships. Remember, halfway through our season is actually summer. The rest of the European calendar is actually on its end of season break. So a youth international tournament was being played. Nessa was at it, representing Norway, missing a couple of games for us. Does mean we've got a fully fledged under-19 international in the squad. But it did mean that we were struggling at right back. We're going to demand a little bit more to get us through to half time. And after a good start, it's been a bit scrappier now, hasn't it? What can we do here? That... oh, goodness, what was that? Clearance? Through ball? Terrible cross? Not entirely sure. And that's a little bit last-ditched as well. And Mikkelsen's picked it up. Mikkelsen's played a few games recently. Pedersen's still only 15, our young goalkeeping prospect. We're taking him out the firing line occasionally. Still giving him plenty of game time, though. Tefram has again made a terrible attempt to get the ball into the box. And again he's made a terrible attempt. This time he's bundled it for Bjorn Grunwald. Are we honestly giving him an assist for that? I feel like that was a bobbly little shot. He's crossed there. It's cannoned into his own face. He's got tackled. Hartvigsen's bailed him out. Shall we give him credit and say he meant that? He's off celebrating like he meant the assist, so we'll give it to him. And we are 2-0 in the lead now, but still they're coming at us. I'm not sure we've been brilliant value for a 2-0 lead, but we're going to take it. And hopefully see this out and get into half-time at 2-0 in the lead. They're playing a pretty patient style here, aren't they? But look at the shape. It's not bad. We've got players in positions to charge it down. But not stop that little effort. Dogman scores. And now suddenly they are looking to try and get the equaliser. We've got the good shape. Got the proverbial 2 banks of 4. We're charging it down. But Sunder did not track the striker and Dogman scores. 2-1 now. And their tails are going to be up going into half time. They're winning the XG battle comfortably. And that's not the best half of football I think we've played. We'll take it because we're in the lead. But it's time for a few choice words. Maybe a little tweak of the tactic. Then the second half. And we're underway again. We have made a little tweak. We've brought Anderson on up front because Hartvigsen was not playing too well. And we've just increased the width a little bit. And just dropped the tempo a little bit to try and control the game a little bit more. And we're going to see if it helps. Here's Gerser. Oh, he struck a post and he had Anderson free in the box. He probably should have put the substitute in. And still it remains 2-1. We're going to demand more early on in this half as well. I feel like we need a third goal. I reckon about 80 minutes, I'm going to be dropping it to a more cautious mentality. Let's just check on the fitness of the players. There's some tired ones out there. We're going to give it another 5. Then I think we're looking at some changes. We're there. We're going to make a substitution time. Some fresh legs. Maybe even throwing on a bit of time wasting. All right, we're back underway. Fresh legs are on. Could have done with 3 or 4 subs really. But we'll take it. We're also going to make another little change. We are going to throw the full time wasting on, I think, and just lower the passing. We'll bring that width back, and as we have done for lots of our victories this season, if we're going to win this, it looks like we're going to do it by a narrow 1-goal win. We're doing a good old job of seeing out the game. I think we'll just tell them to focus for the last bit. We'll drop the passing down even more. And I think we also might just bring that defensive line back. And I reckon we are set. Maybe even more disciplined as well. And we'll see if we can hold out for the last couple of minutes. I don't know. We got 25 seconds left. We need to get this headed clear and then we can break on them and see out the clock. Gersa is as tired as you like. Played a full campaign for us so far, but he's through. Oh, and he's done a carbon copy of what he did at the start of the second half. Smashed it across the keeper. He's clipped the post. He is playing well, though. You can see he's beating men for fun at this level. And he's doing a good job. We can just get a little scoreline as well to see that the team in second place have had a 2-0 win. So it's a good job we did get a victory in that game. How convincing was it? Not brilliant, was it? But it's another 3 points on our road back on the promotion trail. So we're going to say that was a good win. We're going to try and keep the morale up. And now we are into the second half of the season. You can see that. In fact, no. Sherdle's Blink have actually conceded a late defeat to Grorud. So that actually sends us 6 points clear with 12 games to go. That is a little bit of a result. We can only blow it from here. But hey, we've blown plenty of leads in the past before. So 12 games to go. We're going to go offline, play on a few more fixtures. The next time you see us, our position in the table, I think, will be a little bit clearer. Can we stay at the top, get promoted back to the second tier at the first time of asking, and carry on our quest in Sub-Zero Hero?